is here with your questions and comments. And, of course, Michelle, you have some announcements to make on Nutrimedical Report. What are they?
Well, it's nice to be here on July the 22nd.
It's nice to have me here on time today because I try to take my break at the 10-2 hour because there really is no time between the end of a show and the next hour. So if I don't take the 10-2 break, it's not really possible. I do have a cape, but I'm not that fast.
Well, you're being obedient. I said you need to be here.
Ah.
Usually it's welcome to the firing line.
Yeah, welcome to the firing line. And
no one says it like you. I can't do it.
Welcome to the firing line with Michelle Legal, the host with the most, and Dr. Bill in the batter cage trying to answer your questions.
That's it. I love it. I can't fake it. Well, Bill, and everyone out there, it's wonderful to be here. We're having like a horrible heat wave here. It's hot enough here in the summer.
It's like that song,
Today's a killer.
Going to be a heat wave. You know, like that song.
I think you're off key. What is it now?
Yeah, okay. Right. Going to be a heat wave. Anyway, I have to get the right key.
You're off key, and I just can't get
so
off myself.
The fact is, though, this heat wave, we talked about with Ann earlier, and we'll probably expand on it.
Oh.
We're seeing some what's called bowing of the jet stream. So the heat is being pulled up, and we're getting not only it bowing up north, but sometimes during the summer, even fall, we're getting what's called polar inversions. They registered at what's called Dead Horse, Alaska, the hottest temperature on the 13th of July, that was 86 degrees.
Whoa.
Highest in history.
Well, you know what I notice here? The humidity today is crazy. The door in our bedroom is sticking.
It's monsoons. And what happened is, and this happened 10,000 years ago, there was what's called...
You remember, huh?
A poll. Yeah, no, it was actually recorded because they had scientists from NOAA and the Bedford Institute in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and the Woods Hole, Massachusetts, out of Boston, go up to Baffin Island. And one of my friends who actually was in my high school in grade 12 with me was actually working with the Baffin Island research team, and they exhumed tusks from the woolly mammoths. They were 26 feet long, 6 times larger than an African elephant, fully mature. And they were flash frozen, which means it's literally equivalent to dropping in liquid nitrogen at 260 degrees below zero.
Is that the same ship that my boyfriend used to go on from university?
Yes.
Up to Baffin Island?
Yes,
remember?
it is. Yes, it's the same one.
Now,
what's interesting, people don't realize that the movie The Day After Tomorrow was based on fact. These polar inversions really happened. In fact, they were serving up to a decade ago woolly mammoth flesh, flash frozen 10,000 years ago in a restaurant in Paris.
I have something to say off the subject, of course. While you're talking, I'm thinking of something else.
Right.
And I'm thinking of just how much we enjoyed Trump's speech last night.
That was amazing.
I remember I kept saying, I wish he'd say what he's going to do. Lay it out. Put it on the table. Let us know where you're coming from and everything. And it was Ivanka. Hers was, but don't say it. Her speech was great. And, oh my God!
Yeah. I changed her name, but I don't think you liked it. I call it I Vanquish. She was so intelligent and so communicative. Same with her brother Eric the night before.
Well, explain what you mean by vanquish.
She's going to vanquish Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, that's what Bill means.
And by the way, I got a new name for the two of them now.
No! And you're not going to run it by me.
His name is Kane. Yeah, no, his name is Kane. So Not So Able and Kane are going to run for office.
Well, I don't get that.
She's not able. In other words, she's incompetent.
Yes.
Not Able and Kane are going to run.
Oh my God. Okay.
Do you like that?
She's a woman, Bill.
Yeah, I know, but I had to do play on words here for fun, you know.
Anyways, on a positive note, wasn't that the best speech he's ever done?
Oh yeah, and I think that literally, his name actually is a word play that I think is God's trump card, like playing cards, but he's also the last trump. If America doesn't repent, and the Christian churches, by the way, he said also I'm going to get rid of 501c3 status so churches can be involved in politics.
That's nice.
We're going to then get rid of abortion.
Awesome.
We're going to get rid of a lot of evil stuff going on. We're going to have a rapid immigration policy so it's inexpensive to immigrate here, but legally, and we're going to literally make sure that people can come here, are not going to try to push Sharia law and do violence. So he's a law and order president, and I guarantee the border guards, which by the way endorsed him months ago, and the NRA, they know that Hillary Clinton, if she gets in, are going to make the gun manufacturers lose their right to manufacture guns by being sued to death, and people's right to buy a gun and their ability to buy it with the costs are going to be astronomical. So you have to understand, if Hillary gets in, judgment starts on America.
Okay, well, let's just keep praying, and let's
I believe in praying and praying, P-R-A-Y and P-R-E-Y.
I know you say that, and I usually leave the room.
I won't expand on it, but we'll talk about it some other time.
Save it for someone else.
Yeah.
I'd like to tell everyone about the sales that are going to be on all weekend and have been all week. And the most popular one is the Vitamin Max. That's on the very front page, Bill, of Nutrimedical.com. And if you, I guess if you don't have a computer, people actually don't have computers still, some people, you can call in and order at 888-212-8871. And yes, I have to plug our products because I don't know if you're aware of this, but this is me and Daddy B over here, and Bill, pay attention to me. This is our only income.
That and the consultations we get when I do consults.
Yeah, but you rarely charge for a consult.
Rarely charge, yeah. It's the sale of our supplements that keeps us going and makes us be able to do all these free things to give people the right information and help them and give them top quality nutraceuticals and medical advice, etc.
What I want to say from a few emails that I did receive over the past couple months is that, please and kindly support Nutrimedical, and Bill will tell you, you're buying our products, you can trust them if you're...
And you get proper advice how to use them.
But you know that they're going to be the best quality.
Right.
That's why I think we're as successful as we are. I'm not crying the blues here because I do have to thank you, Lord. Thank you, God, for everything that you've done and for the support that all of our listeners, customers have given us, Bill.
Right.
Because really and truly, we went from, just one bottle. Your first thing that you made was NutriDefense, and that was Nutritrala, and that was how many years ago?
I think around 8 or 9.
Yeah. And to where we are today with how many products
Several
do
hundred.
we have now?
Several hundred, yeah.
But I mean, even of our own, I think we have like 60 or something like that.
Yeah.
So the Vitamin Max is there for you, and it's 120 capsules, and it's 7% off and free shipping. The key to all the sales that are on the front page under featured products is that you get free shipping. That's where you really save your money.
Free shipping plus the sale price, plus the 7% off, right?
And if you want to try something for the first time, here's your chance with Allison Med, Nutridyne, of course.
Life Support, I see it up there.
Life Support.
Allison Med, and the QRMA test machine, which is probably the best machine you can use if you want to find out what your organ function is and your vitamin mineral needs are.
Mm-hmm. I'm due for another QRMA, by the way, Bill. Maybe this weekend.
Right.
Wow, hiking up the mountain yesterday almost killed me. It's so hot here.
That's dangerous.
I'm going to have to go on the treadmill for a little while till this heat passes.
Yeah, it could be if you. It's going to be until the end of the month, they say.
Oh no! See, that's when I wish I was living up in Canada, where it's cold.
No.
Come back here.
Dead Horse, Alaska, 86 degrees. The sun stays up longer, so it gets hot. Anyway.
Trust me, where I'm from in Nova Scotia, it's always freezing. I wonder what it's like over there now.
Not anymore. Remember in Alberta? We used to live in Alberta.
Yes.
Hotter than Hades there. Hotter than Southern California because the days are so darn long. So you may have a short summer, 2.5 months or whatever, but it can get hot. And people don't realize, it won't get hot up there. I said, really? What about 95 degrees, whatever? Yes, it can get hot.
Well, isn't it funny the AC is on today because I said, Bill, I'm always trying to save money. And air conditioning and electricity here is so expensive.
Yeah, but ordinarily the weather is real nice here. With the moderating effect of the ocean, it's the nicest climate in America is Southern California. Where we are in San Diego County, it's perfect weather most of the time.
Except for the summers. I find the summers a bit on the hot side.
Oh, it's usually spurts.
They're really hot.
Well, I usually get a day or two, but now this is going to be a couple of weeks. It's going to be hot. It's unusual. It's getting ready for the day after tomorrow's superstorm. There will be storms like that where you'll see it from space, like a swirling mass of air, and you'll see the dump 20 feet of snow, and the railways stop, and the cars stop, and the power's off. It'll be like that movie. And people say, that can't happen. I said, it's happened before. It'll happen again.
Be careful what you say. I'm not waiting for that. Anyways, let's get on to my other stuff. Royce from Washington.
Right.
Washington State.
Royce
is really interesting. He's been asking you about the carrot bars. He's getting into that. But he's a more kind of a recent customer the last few months. I think he heard us first here on RBN. He loves his mountain red deer, Bill, but he said that he knows on one show that you said there was another product that you should be taking with your mountain red deer that's great for life, he said. For life. I'm not sure what he's referring to. And he wants to know what the other product is that you're saying to take with me.
If you're trying to lengthen your telomeres, which are the most important thing for biophotons and light, NTH Max.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
NTH
there you go,
Max,
Royce.
Yeah, by the way, Royce has blindness due to retinitis pigmentosa, and the combination of our nutraceuticals, a mild hyperbaric oxygen, and a ketogenic diet, we have nutraceuticals that can reverse it. So you don't need to just stay with a fixed retinitis pigmentosa. We were actually getting results more than 16 years ago when I was working with a hyperbaric clinic in Denver, and the state shut it down even though we were curing people with retinitis pigmentosa and hyperbaric oxygen in our formulas.
I have a question for you. It's a personal question. Yesterday, remember I picked up my glasses for reading at the computer. I finally have what you call a progressive, because I didn't wear glasses most of my life, but now I have glasses because I'm on the computer all day long, and to read small print.
Right. So it means progressive means it phases from distant looking in the upper part of the lens to medium range looking, like 6 to 10 feet.
It's only 2. It's only got 2 on it. 2,
okay. Well, then it's distance, and then when you get to lower range, it's that, some 20, say 20 to 40 inches from you, so the computer screen.
But guess what? I just put them on this morning when I was getting ready for the show. Oh my gosh, it makes my eyes hurt.
No, that's because you're not used to them. These are progressive lenses here, and if you get used to know where you look through the lens, you're fine.
How long is that going to take?
It takes your brain about a week or 2.
My brain. How long does it take my brain?
4 hours.
Nice.
You're smart.
Nice.
You're smart.
Oh, gosh.
You're smart and cute.
I've heard Bill say to me, I'm smarter than you. And I go, really?
Well, I'm smart in different ways. I'm smart in supercomputer ways, but not in people ways. People ways, I'm like a pet rock. I've got the IQ of a pet rock.
I wouldn't go that low, but,
Well, pretty close.
Okay. Let's get into the emails, or we'll be sitting here talking all day. Greg from Maryland, firing line question, he says. Dr. Bill's thoughts on Bob Nichols' radiation reports being extremely high. Many thanks and blessings.
I contacted Bob Nichols.
Who's that?
Bob Nichols is a gentleman who writes for Veterans Today.
Oh, yeah.
And Bob Nichols is quite ill. I contacted him by email because he wouldn't give a phone number to contact him, and he wouldn't respond to my questions. Now, you see, because of our Celtic and Norwegian background, both of us, you're actually a J1C Viking. I'm just Celtic and German, whatever.
Oh, you got that straight finally.
Right. So here's the point, though. I don't like to ask questions, I ask questions.
Okay.
So I asked him questions to say, what's your source of your radiation testing? What's the radiation network? Who are the people doing it? What kind of technology you're using? And he wouldn't give me answers to anything. We have our own radiation testers that have contacted me that have picked up the Spectre Plus. The numbers that they're quoting are completely without basis.
Okay.
Now, when I've had people take a radiation detector on flights, what we have discovered is that there's a surge of radiation somewhere between 26 and 35,000 feet. So by the time it hits North America, the radiation is at a fairly high altitude. It comes down when it rains. So what they should be doing is 3 things. Number 1, using USB radiation detectors for aircraft to build a real-time radiation map. And then, if a front moves over an area, they need to have public health people with ground-level radiation detectors detecting if the rain is radioactive and telling people wear raincoats, like we talked with Ann Morrison on the show just earlier, and other equipment, and leave it outside because it may actually be contaminated with radiation, and make sure your greenhouse is covered because the rain could be radioactive. And people aren't realizing that the Malaysian air flights, for example, to go from Vancouver, Canada to Malaysia, they had to cut the air flight crews down for the last 4 years to 1 flight crew per month because we're getting sores, their hair was falling out, and they're getting bleeding gums caused by radiation. So it's at high altitude. It's not, when it gets to North America now, on the oceans, it goes oceanic currents. So it's a different thing altogether with oceanic currents.
Okay.
But with the air level, it's, from my conclusion so far, is that Veterans Today is completely, when they say it's 5,000 and all these units and so on, I want to know the units, the type of detector, etc. in the network, and I get no information from them at all to validate it.
Next question, Bob at an email. Hello, I'm an 89-year-old male, weigh 145 pounds. I've had my bladder stones blasted and removed 3 times. Last time was a year and a half ago. So I'm about due for another stone blasting. What do you recommend for my problem?
Well, the first thing is, for the past third of a century, I've been using the Naval Research Laboratory in North Florida, near Jacksonville, to actually analyze the stones, kidney or bladder stones, and tell you the chemical structure, because it tells you exactly what you need to take to stop stone formation. The things you want to use are bio-LVR and magnesium potassium citrate will stop stone formation. And those are the primary things.
Okay. Next is Billy in an email. I think, he's not a customer. No. He says, oh man, Oh, man. I am healthy as a horse. Very athletic.
Yeah.
I'm in perfect shape. A gym rat. Oh, boy. Mitzi told me about those gym rats. They're all there. It's bad. Anyways.
They're trying to show off their biceps and their ability to...
But that's good for him.
Chin-ups.
Billy, so far for you, that's good. Good for you.
That's really good.
I just love to take care of my health, and I listen to you and other doctors all the time. I have listened to you for years. You were the guy that woke me up. He goes, heck, I have even chatted with you on the phone a couple of times about 8 years ago. Well, hello, Billy, I can't find you in our customers for ordering. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
No,
Firstly, you gotta understand.
Who says that? Let me finish it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me finish.
Yeah.
Okay. I need to find out his question. I just want to be intaking all of the 90 essential nutrients daily and be healthy. I have my own organic food garden in my backyard. That's great. And I'm a totally informed health fanatic. Thank you so much. Well, the only thing you always says, oh yeah, he wants to buy the Vitamin Max. Great start, Billy, because that will address your essential nutrients.
Yeah, that Vitamin Max and Minerals Plus is to start with. When he mentions 94, you know that he's been listening to Joel Wallach, who's a veterinarian who did naturopathic training. First off, most of the components of longevity and their products, like Tangy Tangerine and their whatever, are what they call non-organic minerals that are made in a laboratory and are not biologically absorbed very well.
He would have been our listener, of course, over at GCN. That's where he picked up all that stuff.
And you have to understand that you don't want minerals and vitamins that are not in their final activated state. You want either protein amino acid chelates, which is what we have exclusively in our minerals, or you want what's called hydrogenated ionic minerals and so on, which nobody else makes, but we're working on a new technology to help as well. But the key issue is you want Vitamin Max, Minerals Plus, and Life Support. Then you also want a probiotic to keep your gut healthy. If you're talking about taking the 94 things, or the ones that are going to keep you healthy and you're already healthy, you might, if you're really athletic, want to take Collagen Max and Mountain Red Velvet to rebuild your tissues because you're tearing them apart. Mm-hmm. And if you don't rebuild them, for example, they found that 78% of athletes in the NBA and NFL have a 78% percentage of a major tear in their shoulder requiring surgery if you did an MRI or arthrogram.
Well, rather than the Vitamin Max, what if he had the Life Support? Because there he's getting vitamins and minerals plus.
You can do that, but you're going to need the Minerals Plus too, because there's going to be some extra ones in Minerals Plus.
But then the Minerals Plus, which is what I.
And then you want an omega fatty acids, and I recommend the Omega Supreme or the Omega Supreme Krill with astaxanthin to stop heart disease and cardiovascular to protect your arteries. Because a lot of people, even if they're quote athletic or healthy, they're still going to end up with blocked arteries because they've got inflammation of their blood vessel walls.
What I do is take the Life Support, and then I take Minerals Plus. Every day.
Yeah, that's good.
Every day. And days that I don't have my drink, which are kind of rare, then I'll take Vitamin Max. Because I'm getting a lot of it there. Of course, I'm also...
Yeah, the protein amino acid chelate is the top way of getting minerals into your body.
What is it?
Protein amino acid chelate, because they're not a normal ionic transport. They're an active protein chelated mineral.
What is that? Where is that?
Because proteins are attached to the minerals, it's actually actively transported into the cells. So they don't get jammed up like in a freeway trying to all get off the off-ramp into your cell.
Right.
So...
And you're referring to what product?
Minerals Plus, Vitamin Max, and Life Support.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of our products probably referring to. Next, Bill, is Alan and Debbie from Texas. Thank you so much for your show and tireless sacrifices. Yes, Bill, I know you're always in there. I thank you, too.
Tireless, I guess, is because I had for some reason, whether it's a full moon or whatever.
You had bad sleep last night.
Yeah, I was up. I know I think it was maybe a spiritual agitation. I was trying to think about what it was. It's the end of the Republican convention. And I was so excited about what happened yesterday with the speeches.
I know.
The speeches of Ivanka and Trump, and then the previous night was Eric. And, of course, I was very excited that Cruz did something which I call a verbal bowel movement, if you want to call it, on the lectern.
Okay.
And that actually induced a lot of people who were on the fence to become supporters of Trump. So they actually had a lady on CNN, which is more balanced than Fox, and she said, when that happened, all the people who were wavering on the fence about supporting Trump, they went right over to Trump.
Yeah, I'm hoping that the Bernie supporters will be able to catch his speech.
Well, the main thing is jobs and trade. And by the way, Kane, who's a supporter of Not Able with Kane, they both support the Trans-Pacific and Transatlantic Partnership, which, of course, Bernie didn't support, and neither does Trump.
Alan and Debbie, apologize. I'll get you after the break. Sorry, I'll read the rest of your email, my dear.
Yeah, welcome back, Michelle. You have some more questions. And
Getting back with Alan and Debbie. My 67-year-old wife has Crohn's, gastroduodenal, and colitis disease. She has suffered for years and she has persistent symptoms despite medical treatment for severe Crohn's. She also experiences flare-ups.
Right.
Low-grade fever in the abdominal and anal area, excessive gas after meals, evidence of abscess, collection of pus, and formation of scar tissue, a gobbling of the intestinal wall via colonoscopy, a mucus normal, excessive swelling of the abdomen to the point of her belly always looking like she is 9 months pregnant, and she is moderately overweight rather than the expected weight loss. She does not have much pain, experiences occasional nausea, diarrhea, tenderness.
Yeah, you don't need to go through all those details.
Well, there's one more thing. Skin on her back and face is in terrible shape with both warts and large moles, ever increasing in number over time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
first off, you have to ask the question, what is Crohn's disease? Mm-hmm. Ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease are what's called immune homology diseases, where there's a fungus or a yeast that protein segments of the yeast in the mycelial form are identical to the bowel section of the bowel wall. Mm-hmm. For example, in Saccharomyces cerevisiae, which is a yeast that actually makes bread, mm-hmm. is identical to 10 of the amino acids in the splanchnic membrane of your bowel wall. Mm-hmm. So it's basically what's called immune homology disease. So the first problem is you have to get rid of the pathogens. Mm-hmm. There's a yeast that's actually embedded in the body, and you have what's called immune tolerance. So you're growing Saccharomyces cerevisiae like your body is bread. And these fungi cause immune homological reactions where your immune system tries to attack the fungus and it actually tells your bowel. So you get fistulae, and you get abscesses and anaerobic bacteria, mm-hmm. and co-infections with anaerobes, bacteria, parasites, etc. And that's why you have all these other things. Like if you have a fistula to your bladder, you can get bladder infections, you can get horrible things, you can get intra-abdominal abscesses, and there's a higher rate of, because of the chronic inflammation of the bowel, turning into cancer.
So her stomach is swelling just like bread, like, what is it? What's making her stomach swell?
Abnormal peristalsis of the bowel that traps air and gas, the growth of polypathogens in the gut wall, mm-hmm. and the leakiness of the gut wall as well. So there's probably leakiness in the small bowel, and there may be fistulae and an abscesses in the what's called pericolic gutters.
Okay, so what could you do to...
Well, the first thing we do is
what can you do to help her?
Number one, we kill off the pathogens with triple threat. Nutridyne, Allicement, Silver, Nutridefense, immunoglobulins, Nutriimmune capsules.
In this case, I'd say a lot of Allicement.
Right.
Is that right?
And a lot of Nutridyne. Nutridyne is the most powerful of all of them.
Nutridyne?
Yeah, and then the next thing we want to do is we want to heal the gut wall. GastroHeal, which is zinc carnosine, mm-hmm. okay, and Nutriimmune immunoglobulins will help to start healing the gut wall, mm-hmm. and CoQ10 Supreme Ubiquinol. The ubiquinol form of CoQ10 helps to energize the healing of the gut wall. We can do it with the gums and the moles too, but it also works in the bowel. And the zinc carnosine is very important in immunoglobulins. We use things like collagen max as well, and mountain red velvet because it supplies the biomolecules to rebuild the tissue. And then finally, we want to restore peristalsis. That is the GI tract release of IBS care, which is a special IBS form of carnitine, to normalize the peristalsis of the bowel. Colon cleanse to cleanse the lower bowel. And we want to use not only the living probiotic every day, twice a day, but living probiotic ultra every second or third day, and to recolonize the gut. And you can do immunological testing to see if the antibodies against the bowel wall or the stealth pathogens are present. One of the tests I like is a QRMA. The other test is called a CDSA2. But I like the QRMA because it'll identify if your bowel is normalizing. So.
Well, I hope that helps.
Yeah, and if they, I'll email a protocol, so I'll tell them what to do.
When we come back, Willie, because we'll read your email. Willie from Texas. Lots of Willies and Billies.
Michelle, and more questions. Not too many details. We only have so many minutes to answer everybody's questions, Michi. You gave a lot of...
to yourself or me?
Well, you gave a lot of details about that last person's issues with their bowel.
Well, it looked important to me.
It isn't.
What isn't important?
All those little details. They'll vary from one person to another with similar inflammatory bowel conditions. And the protocol basically is pretty straightforward. Kill off the pathogens, turn off the inflammation, heal the leaky gut, and restore normal peristalsis, and heal the tissues and regenerate the stem cells to regenerate the bowel wall, and stop the fistula from developing.
You already said that, and you're taking up time.
There you go.
You're repeating yourself here.
Yeah.
Willie from Texas. I started taking ageless vanilla and Collagen Max. I listened to you on RBN, but reception's often poor, hence the email request. He has a couple of things here, Bill, which I will put it small for you. Number one would be malnutrition. Well, I thought if you had malnutrition, you should be taking the life support.
Well, life support, and you also, by the way, people should also recognize we have digestive enzymes to help you digest your food.
Is there anything in the life support like
there's
that?
a little bit, but I recommend that they take it.
Which one is it? Gastro?
It's similar to Gastrozyme, but what I'd recommend, if you've got malnutrition, I'd recommend you take a living probiotic and Gastrozyme. And if your QRMA test, for example, we suspect you have undigested food, we'd recommend digest these too in case you have hypochlorhydria, because if you're older, very often there's no hydrochloric acid or pepsin, so your digestive enzymes don't work.
Oh, okay. Now, for macular degeneration.
Vision Max, Can-C eye drops, cell detox, glutathione, and I would recommend probably Vein Away, because the small vessels in the eye, same with glaucoma. Glaucoma, small vessels, Vein Away, ellagic acid, and vision care. And
macular degeneration is different from glaucoma in what way?
There's just different parts. They're all microcirculatory problems in the eye.
Are they?
Yeah, and the problem is that in glaucoma, they chase the eye intraocular pressure, and their idea is to chase it down to zero, which is stupid. The functional medicine ophthalmologist realize it's a microcirculatory problem in the eye. It is not primarily intraocular pressure, because 40% of the people who get glaucoma have low or normal pressures.
Oh, interesting.
40% have low or normal, which means their theory is completely blown out of the water.
So how do you diagnose it?
Well, you're going to see changes in the visual fields with the Goldman field test, which is a...
Oh, that's the one I took, with the dot around the thing. Do you know what
it's not a very sensitive test.
Do you know what he said?
It depends on the participation of the person doing the test.
Mine was perfect. I got every dot.
Right.
At 61. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
For all the supplements that you have me on. Right. Even though I get them by myself.
So I'd recommend Omega Supreme Krill, Astaxanthin, Cell Detox Glutathione, Vision Max, and the apoptogenic vascular agents like Vein Away. Any ellagic acid will help the small circulation.
Now look, he says cataract. You can have both macular degeneration and
cataract. In fact, oftentimes when people have a cataract and they have the cataract surgery, the inflammation in their eye accelerates. So if they don't take the things to protect the eye from inflammation, like Vision Care and Omega Supreme Krill.
Vision Care?
Yeah, the Vision Max, Vision Max. If they don't take our other supplements, the inflammation increases and their eyes degenerate, not because of the lens clouding, because it's gone, they got a new artificial lens. It's because the back of the eye, the circulation is actually zapping the neurons that pick up the rods and cones, pick up the signal and send it to your brain.
One thing, I was talking to this optometrist yesterday, and I was talking about supplements, because he goes, oh, wow, you're 61. Wow, that's good, right? My tests were excellent. And I said, yeah, well, that's because I take my anti-age max and my glutathione, right?
Cell detox glutathione.
And he agreed. He said of everything, he said glutathione and lutein or something?
Lutein's in the Vision Max.
That's in the Vision Max?
Right.
And the glutathione's in the...
Cell detox glutathione.
What's in the Nutritrala?
That has all the alpha R and other isotopes
alpha-lipoic?
of alpha-lipoic acid to recycle your fat and water soluble antioxidants.
So the Cell Defense has the glutathione.
Right. So Cell Detox Glutathione.
Oh.
Cell Defense helps to heal the eye or any tissue in the body and actually get rid of cancer mother cells. So it's very important. It's one of the most powerful regenerative supplements of cell defense.
For all your people listening out there, it must be funny to listen to me, because you go, hey, she can't get it, and she's been with them 31 years, and she still doesn't know what's in one product or the next. There's so much.
Well, it's like playing music. You have to know which keys to hit to make the right chords.
Yeah, well, that's one. You're a natural, Bill, so the rest of us are trying to understand. Okay, so...
It's like a nutraceutical master pianist.
Do you mind if I do one more for him? See. Bill, do you mind if the cramping in legs, feet, and hands?
We'll start off with, for cramping, I recommend, number one, magnesium glycinate.
Yes.
And the other is Spilkes, which is calcium magnesium taurate.
Okay,
Okay,
next
the
is...
spilkies is a Yiddish for pins and needles, and also for cramps.
Is it?
It's Yiddish, spilks. It's a
No one
European
can say
Yiddish
it.
term.
Spilkies?
Spilkies.
John from Hayward, California. Dr. Deagle, I am interested in this. Did the one-day... he's referring to stem cell therapy.
Right.
I did the one-day therapy with steam block for my eyes and no results.
That's not surprising. First off...
What is the protocol before doing the therapy, and what is the clinic you referred to in Mexico?
Yeah, I'm familiar with steam block, and he was using umbilical cord stem cells. My research and interaction with all the stem cell clinics, same-day stem cells from umbilical are not high enough concentration to do very much of anything except reduce inflammation. They'll reduce inflammation.
Okay.
Same-day bone marrow from yourself will do the same thing, not very much. Mm-hmm. Same day from your fat tissue, if they do a liposuction and they take the stem cells out, reduces inflammation. Mm-hmm. Okay. If you want to regenerate tissues, you need two types. You actually dry your bone marrow and multiply it in a stem cell lab for 2 weeks to 4 weeks, usually 2 weeks at least. Mm-hmm. Or you have a stem cell line like Nutrimedical in San Diego, and they have two clinics, one in Astana, Kazakhstan, at a hospital there. The other is in the Santa Clarita, Kazakhstan, where they have a lot of money, oil.
There?
It's one of the most.
Okay, where's the other one?
The other one is Santa Clarita Clinic in Tijuana.
Yeah, Tijuana. There you go.
Yeah.
John.
So, and by the way,
nice
you fly into San Diego, and they'll take a limo and drive you right down to the clinic, and you go in there for an afternoon, and you can. And they're wonderful down there, so they'll take care of you. Okay. And they have very powerful stem cell lines. All you do is get a peripheral IV in the back of your hand, and you're done after an hour or so. That's how easy it is.
Barbara from South Dakota.
And nothing gross. You don't have to have bone marrows done and all of those things. You got to prep up, though. If you don't let me prep your tissues, the stem cells will not take. So if you just think you're going to go off, because a lot of people are going to
How do you prep?
You got to let Dr. Deagle do his complex. I got to pull out the toxins, heavy metals, reverse your diabetes, get your advanced glycosylation end products down, make sure I correct all your mineral deficiencies, stop any autoimmune or stealth pathogens in your body. And if I don't clean you up, don't think stem cells are going to take.
Barbara from South Dakota. Dear Dr. Bill, you said your listeners could email you for advice, so here is my situation. I am a 72-year-old female, 220 pounds, and about 67 inches tall. That's like 5'7". 5.5.
Yes,
5.5.
She's a big person.
About 20 years ago, I had a large tumor on one of my thyroid glands, so my right side gland was removed with the tumor. It was not malignant, and I have been on thyroid meds since. The only cancer I have had is small skin cancer on my nose 4 years ago. I do have psoriasis on my scalp and face. So this is actually kind of long, and you're going to get all... Okay, let's take one thing. We'll do the thyroid, which we do that a lot every show. You go back to last Friday and hear thyroid stuff. What about psoriasis? A few people have asked about psoriasis.
Spray Silver 100 on it, and then after spraying Silver 100 4 times a day, apply pregnenolone and curcumin.
You know what? I've had people say Nutrimedical works on psoriasis.
It does. It's the most powerful, but you don't want to do it at the same time as Silver. No. You want to separate it. So you do Nutrimedical in between those sessions.
And how would you do Nutrimedical? You have to dilute it?
You can either dilute and spray it on, or you can put it on your fingertips and then rub it on the areas. Okay. And then apply curcumin and pregnenolone on top of it. And then in terms of inflammation below the tissues, I use Cell Defense Plus, which is our curcumin product, to alter the tissue so it'll start to heal and regenerate. Mm-hmm. And I take oral antipathogenics because it's the mites on your skin. And at night, they come out of your pores and your sebaceous glands, and they go to the red light district, which is your skin, and have sex, and then they go back in your skin, and they have up to 200 different pathogens in their mouth parts. And those pathogens induce interleukin 27 and the prickles.
Sex.
They do. That's what they do. Believe it or not, these little buggers. Excuse me.
What is wrong with you?
No, I'm just telling you, this is the reality.
God.
And you have to kill off the pathogens in their mouth parts, so you want to take
Nutrimedical orally. Do you actually call it sex? Is that the medical term?
Well, that's their little creatures. Okay?
Or is that your term?
Well, what they do is they reproduce on your skin, and then they crawl back.
Reproduce. That sounds.
They reproduce on your
medical.
That's why I call it the red light district on your skin.
I know you do.
And then what you have to do is take Nutrimedical orally and Allicin Medinzone, because when it gets through your skin, it's going to get into the prickle cell layer and get these stealth pathogens that are going down the deep parts of your sebaceous glands and your hair follicles and so on, because it's the mites actually carry the pathogens deep into your skin, and it's IL-27 that triggers off the Koebner's phenomena that causes psoriasis.
She says she also has restless leg syndrome. I hear a lot of people talking about that too. So I take a med so she can sleep at night.
Yeah, it was really easy. The two things I recommend: Brain Mag and Combined, 1 scoop 2 to 3 times a day, and 2 scoops before bedtime, and Spilkas and magnesium glycinate. Those two, Mag glycinate and Spilkas, usually 2 to 3, at least twice a day, and the Brain Mag 1 scoop 3 times a day, along with Combined, and double it up before bedtime. No more restless legs.
She says, my concerns are that the meds I am taking may not really be good for me.
Are you kidding? No, they're pre-embalming her. They're actually reducing her costs of her funeral costs.
She said, I'm already taking the Mountain
Did you get
Red
that?
Deer. What?
So they reduce her funeral costs.
Oh, that was funny. I missed that.
Pre-embalming.
I am already taking the Mountain Red Deer, and I have more energy and feel better already. Bill.
Right, so you have to understand, your doctors are going to pre-embalm you, and they have the magic script pad. 1 foot's inside the door, and the other foot is on the way out to the next exam room.
This is funny, Bill. Listen to this. I usually listen to your radio program, but I don't understand most of the medical talk. Thank you so much. Barbara, you and me both, and I've been here forever.
Yeah, that's why we do the Friday show, where you kind of try to convert it to normal people language.
I like the word try. Robert, in an email, hello, I'm a 40-year-old male who's recently quit drinking. I am having some brain fog and was wondering what products you'd recommend to cleanse my body and return my focus.
Cognition Plus and Brain Power, and you can add Synaptin.
Good.
And if you want to increase cholinergic pathways, ultrathymine B1, CDP or cytidine choline, and uridine or uridine monophosphate if you're a fast acetylator. And you won't know unless you do a Prometheus analysis of your 23andMe, and then I can tell you if you're a fast or slow acetylator. But I can repair your memory in what's called hippocampus, and I can repair your myelination, and I can repair, the post-alcoholic brain changes occur.
Nicole from something called Healthline Media, San Francisco, California. She said, I came across your site and wanted to say thanks for providing a great cancer resource to the community. What are the side effects and long-term effects of chemotherapy?
Death. I'm just being...
I know.
Death,
you look at me
death, baldness, chemo brain, which means you become stupid.
Yeah.
Lack of hormones, a lot of the times it'll actually zap your hormones, and osteoporosis, osteopenia. So when you get chemo, it increases the risk of getting a pathological fracture or rapidly progressive osteopenia and osteoporosis. So it's all bad. You want to test the genetics of your cancer, never do paint-by-number chemo, always do genetic-based cancer treatments, and always be on all our nutraceuticals firsthand, and never do proton therapy or radiation treatment to any cancer at any time.
Sergio from Salinas, California. Hi, Dr. Deagle and Michelle. I'm planning on making an order. I have the Vitamin Max Nutridyne Silver 100. I'm wondering what else you would recommend. I have itchy eyelids sometimes and gallbladder stones.
Well, itchy eyelids, I'd simply start off with Silver 100 drops in the eye to knock out the infection. Aller Block, that's a normal non-sedating antihistamine. If it doesn't work with that alone, I'd go up to Allergon. And then if it's the eyelids and the skin there, it's very likely that they're dealing with some inflammation, so I put a small amount of pregnenolone, not in the eye, but around the eyelids. A little bit of pregnenolone, and that'll reduce inflammation.
Pregnenolone take away bags under your eyes?
Yes, it's an anti-inflammatory.
Really?
It'll stop blepharitis, but a lot of the time people have actually got low-grade mite infections in their eyes, and they have what's called meibomianitis. So meibomian sebaceous glands along their eyelids get infected, and you can get a cyst, which is called a chalazion cyst. And these cysts, if they get big enough, the eye surgeon has to remove them, and you have to have a really competent eye surgeon, or your eyelid will get screwed up.
And gallbladder stones?
Gallstones, magnesium, potassium citrate, Gastro Heal, IBS Care, and Cell Defense Plus.
Okay. He asked the question referring to the Dr. U book, to your book, the Dr.
U, yeah.
How does it compare the wellness conditions, and is it enough to get the book? God bless, and thank you so much.
It's the core stuff as of January this year of the top, 3 or 4 to 5.
For our new listeners, could you tell them what Dr. U book is?
Well, if you actually walk into your bathroom and then look in the mirror, you're looking at Dr. U.
Well, why the bathroom?
Because whenever there's a mirror, there could be a mirror in your hallway too, in your front hallway. The Dr. U is there as well.
Okay.
Right, that's you. In other words, what I'm training you to do is, if you rely on me, I'll train you how to become a master, like giving you like a partial quick training so you have an operator's manual for your body.
The number one thing I think of for that is the QRMA, which you do recommend.
Which is why the QRMA test.
You.
Well, the QRMA test, along with a little history, will tell me what to tell you to take and tell you why your body's out of balance. Because don't go just on symptoms, because major symptoms will bother you and minor ones will kill you. So if you go based on symptoms, which unfortunately is what most medicine, chiropractic, and naturopathy is based on, it is not logical. Because micropathology and stealth pathogens and all kinds of things are happening, and there may not be symptoms that you get something nasty brewing. So you have to understand, if we can find an imbalance, like with a QRMA test or functional medicine test, and QRMA is nice, quick and dirty, boom, you send me the compressed file, you send me your history of what problems you have, and I can tell you what supplements to take.
But I said to briefly just say, what is the Dr. U book?
Functional medicine basically is what it teaches.
But it does give a lot of the protocols. A big chunk of the book is the protocols.
The core protocols, as of January. The core for several hundred things, for everything, A to Z.
Yeah.
But and usually 3 to 5 things are the top ones to start with. Again, remember, that's level 1 care. There's level 2, 3, 4, 5, etc.
When Sergio says, "Is it enough to get the book?" I would say to you, Sergio,
anybody can get the book.
You've been a regular customer.
Anybody can buy the book.
Let me finish.
Yeah.
You've been a regular customer for a number of years, so you would have access to the wellness conditions. So you could have both.
If you have specifics, I usually tell people, even if you had access to the wellness, because they have to be revised, some of them are out of date, it's best to just email me with what the issues you have, and I'll tell you what to do.
Next, Bill?
The knowledge base is expanding and changing rapidly.
Tom from Tennessee. Hi, Tom. He's my friend, Bill.
Yeah.
That's why he says in here, hi again. Will you ask Bill what I can do about persistent canker sores? Thank you, my friend. Yes.
Yeah.
My friend Tom. Persistent canker sores.
GastroHeal, puncture with a corn skewer, CoQ10 ubiquinol, right?
Yep.
And Cell Defense Plus 2 capsules 3 times a day.
Puncture and do what?
This CoQ10
Put it right
ubiquinol,
on there?
hold it on your gums and it'll heal it. And GastroHeal, chew 1 to 2 tablets 4 times a day. And Cell Defense Plus, open a capsule, put it in your mouth 4 times a day.
Why would a person get persistent canker sores?
I'll tell you when you get back. So quickie questions. Go ahead.
Did you say that you were going to say something there about... Did you say something before the...
No, I told you that I would answer. Just repeat that last question.
I don't know what it is now. I got to get on to the next one. Look how many I have, real quick. I think you gave the... Oh, I know what it was. It was for Tom. It was for canker sores.
Yeah, you want to...
And I said to you...
Why do they happen?
It was my question.
They happen for 2 reasons. Number 1, they're outbreak or herpes virus infection. Number 2, allergic.
Okay.
Either way, if you use if you think it's a herpes infection, you want to also rinse your mouth 4 times a day with Silver 100.
Okay, so that's what that was my question.
Yeah, or Nutridyne.
For Tom. Okay,
Yeah.
Next, Bill, we have Carrie and Ralph from Casula, New South Wales, Australia. Hello from Australia. My partner and myself are regular listeners to your show and have recently become customers after they got some Nutridyne and Collagen Max.
Right.
Number 1 problem is I have a problem with having cold hands and feet most of the time and all season round. In the winter, it gets worse and I get frostbite. Does it get that cold?
It's called Raynaud syndrome. Is what it's
yeah,
called.
she says here that both of who's she talking about here? Under the eyes of her eyes become swollen and they look sore, although she doesn't feel pain. The symptoms are similar to Raynaud's disease.
Yeah.
So that's her problem. And then her partner she has a breakout on her face a week before my menstrual cycle.
That's increase in prostaglandins because of the cycle.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I have very little or no pain for 5 days, and then I'd like to know what to do to prevent the breakout from occurring.
First off, she should be taking femgesterone so she doesn't get a premenstrual drop in her progesterone and increase in prostaglandins. Mm-hmm. Second thing, she should probably be taking a Cell Defense Plus to reduce the cytokine levels in her blood. Mm-hmm. In terms of the eyes, she's got basically a release of cytokines in her body, in her eyes, so I'd recommend probably the Aller Block to
Which
block...
one are you referring to?
Where her eyes swell up.
Oh.
Now, in terms of if she takes the femgesterone for 28 days and stops because she's still having cycles, she'll get a withdrawal bleed, but she won't end up with a premenstrual breakout in her skin.
Oh, good.
Right.
Now, what about the Raynaud's? Do you think that's what that is?
Yeah, it's Raynaud's. It's very typical. You start off with cardiovasc and supernox to
But
produce nitric
the
oxide.
one that has the Raynaud's is the one with the swelling under the eyes, Bill.
Right, so what you do, there's two separate things though.
Yeah.
The Raynaud's syndrome, what you do, we only have so many minutes left, honey.
I know, Jim.
Yeah, cardiovasc is number one, and number two, supernox. And BioLVR, that'll generate what's called tetrahydrobiopterin, so she'll have less vasospasm. You can also use things to help to protect the blood vessel wall, such as Vein-Away and ellagic acid. Because if people get Raynaud's phenomena, they are at risk if they're in a colder environment of getting frostbite and getting vasospasm that can cause, clotting of veins or whatever.
Now, I'm surprised it gets that cold in Australia.
It's getting colder now. The southern hemisphere is far colder than it's been in the past. And in the wintertime now we're having big storms in places.
Do they have high altitudes there? They must.
Yeah, but even in New South Wales, this winter has been particularly bad. So right now, which is their winter, it's been they're having snow in New South Wales they've never had before.
But I think they have mountains for skiing there.
Oh yeah, they got serious mountains. Yeah. Australia's got everything.
Yeah.
Including 8 out of the 10 most poisonous snakes on the planet. And the biggest gators, like
the biggest what?
Gator. Remember Crocodile Dundee?
Oh yeah.
Biggest gators, he said, "There's a knife, mate." Remember that, the knife on the show? It wasn't a little pen knife. He had a knife, 18 inches long.
Are you thinking of the guy that killed the crocodile, or the Crocodile Dundee?
Crocodile Dundee, yeah.
Because remember the other fellow, the poor fellow that got the stingray bite?
That was a stingray bite. Yeah,
that was a different fellow.
Yeah, exactly.
What's his name?
I don't remember. I can see his face, but I can't remember.
Are we done for the whole day?
We are done.
Oh my gosh, already. God bless you. Talking to Bill.
If you have questions.
Have a great weekend. Call me on Mondays. I'm here all day on Mondays. My day to answer the phone, 888-212-8871. And we'll put your questions on the air.
There you go. God bless you. We pray for you. Pray for us. Support us.